American fighter jets conducting 4 more airstrikes on Islamic militants in Iraq, taking out armored personnel carriers that were firing on civilians. But are targeted airstrikes enough to stop a terror group that says its goal is to fly their flag above the White House? Joining us now to discuss is Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters. Colonel, thanks a lot for coming on this morning.
Hi, Tucker.
Is this enough?
No, certainly not. Now, I am glad that Obama is doing something, however belatedly, however small. But these air attacks, while they're helping the Yazidi minority, which Islamic State militants want to slaughter, they are helping that. They're helping locally. There is nothing we're doing to stem the strategic tide, the strategic offensive Islamic State has launched. And it is terrifying. And, Tucker, President Obama always wants to get off on the cheap. He wants to do the minimum. And by doing the minimum in this case, and the bare minimum, he sacrificed one of the great advantages military men have when they go to war or into a conflict, and that's surprise. If we were going to take on Islamic State, and we're in it now, even with these few airstrikes, you needed to hit them really, really hard, really fast, and in depth. Now, with these pinprick airstrikes, we've essentially warned them, to get under cover, disperse their vehicles, etc. So we've made it harder. But that said, it's good that the president's done something. It's not remotely enough to stop the threat not only to Iraq and Syria, but to the United States and the world. This is a new kind of threat, Tucker.
So his actions suggest the president, maybe while concerned, doesn't really take ISIS seriously as a threat to the United States. Should he? Who are these guys? What is their aim, and are they credible?
Well, terminology confuses us. They're called the Islamic State, formerly ISIS, ISIL. But this has gone beyond Islam. This is a new apocalyptic death cult that's burst out of Islam. Now, look, Islam, like all the major religions, has some really ugly spots in its history, periods of cruelty. But at no time in the history of Islam have they celebrated mass executions of unbelievers, even fellow Muslims who don't measure up. The closest historic parallel to what we are seeing with Islamic State is the Aztecs, this celebration of mass murder for a god or gods. And the only difference is the Aztecs actually built some stuff, while Islamic State destroys churches, 1,800-year-old churches, destroys Shia mosques, destroys shrines, burns manuscripts, but above all, slaughters Christians, Yazidis, other minorities, Shia Muslims, and Sunni Muslims who don't measure up. It is a blood cult. And, Tucker, the liberal intelligentsia, of which Obama is the chief representative, the people that read the New Yorker cartoons and think they're strategists, they refuse to understand how vicious and cruel so much of the world is. And I can tell you, and I've tried to drive home to these people, that the most addictive substance on earth is human blood. And Islamic State is addicted to human blood, to these mass sacrifices. I mean, God, even the Nazis didn't film public beheadings and broadcast them. This is stunning. It's something new. And we are doing virtually nothing to stop it. And it is a threat to America. It is a threat to the world. And it's beyond Islam. It's beyond any religion. It is a blood cult, a death cult.
That's the most evocative description I have heard ever of these people and what they do. I'm mesmerized and horrified, and I'm sure our viewers are too. And we appreciate your coming on this morning
with
that
Tucker.
perspective. Really interesting. Thanks, Colonel.